Welcome to the energy of the day for Monday, July 7th. We're going to go ahead and see what is happening for that day. Yeah. Okay, give me one moment. I'll be right back. I'm just going to set myself up and we'll get started. Just a second. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get started. We're going to actually start with the energy overall here. We're going to see what is actually going on. So let's take a look. Perfect. Just double checking that they're upright, of course. Okay, let's see here. Let's see the energy overall for Monday. Gemini, communication, that's lovely. Anything else? Holy cow. Okay, just a moment, just a moment. Gemini, Taurus, Moon, Air. Okay. You could have quite literally a Gemini moon, an Aquarius moon, or a Libra moon. Okay, let me see here. Or a Taurus moon, sure. Let's see what else wants to pop through. Oh, there it is. Quite the spark here. Okay. Okay. What else is going on? Ooh. Way too many. Way too many. But I'm just going to take a quick look, see? Moving past illusions for that one. Okay, just a second here. Moon and air, what's that? Yeah, okay. Oh, I think we're done here. Then we also have the sun, which represents Leo, but it also represents things coming to the surface, coming to light. Oh, quite a few. Oh, look at that. Oh my. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Double moon. Wow. All right, we have a Cancer here. That's very, very specific. We also have the fact that it's Moon Day, so Monday. That's specific as well here. So let's go ahead here. Just a second. Anxiety, uncertainty required to be completely told off. Oh, that's cute. Anyway, listen. Here's the deal. All right. There is a person here on my table that is suffering from a little bit of, well, sleepless nights, insomnia, maybe, a little bit too much of mental, just a second, mental activity where they require to be more grounded in nature. Now, I have this feeling that somebody is a little bit angry with their words or using their words in a frustrated manner because they have no idea what is going on in a specific dynamic here. When really this person should be a little bit more grounded in nature and not allow these endless questions based from anxiety and not really knowing the truth of a situation. Somebody needs to clear the air with a person here because this person, the more they are left with, actually, the more they are left in the dark, the angrier they get, the more frustrated they get over here. It's like this almost feels like a situationship to a degree, or just a dynamic that doesn't really have a specific goal in mind. And it feels a little, it does feel frazzled. I'll be honest about that. It does. There are some things that are not communicated, some things that a person is left in the dark and they don't know what's going on, and therefore they're getting more antsy, more anxious, more frustrated, actually. But the advice is actually with the Taurus and the Pluto, to be honest. The Taurus and the Pluto is telling this individual, this person that's going through a bit of of an anxious, you know, anxious time here, phase. It's letting this individual know to be more grounded, to have a presence of being more grounded, not to be whisked away by things that they don't truly know yet. I mean, I have a feeling it's going to come to the surface here. It's just not, it's not visible yet. It's not, this isn't, it's not visible yet. So you know how the other one where I said, like on that pop out, I said something along the lines of overcoming illusions or something of that nature. It seems like the Taurus Pluto is trying to advise an individual here not to run away with their thoughts, not to run away with their fears and anxieties and tension and stress. There's something going on with this. But at the same time, I understand this individual because they don't have clarity. And if they don't have clarity, they're going to go bananas. And I think that's majority of people out here, right? When we don't really have pieces of information to make a real, to make a real decision, well, I mean, no wonder we're going to probably make a mistake, or we're probably going to assume things and then just run with a narrative. Maybe like a worst case scenario narrative, right? So we really have to be a little bit careful here. Give me a second. Let me see what's going on overall here. Because this person has an interesting I do want to say they have an interesting mouth on them, okay? Meaning that if they're going to scorch you with their words, they will. But it's mostly because they're anxious because they don't know what's going on. They're nervous, right? Because they don't know what's going on. And there needs to be some type of like clearing of information here going on, a clearing of something, to be honest. King of Wands, yeah. Could be Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Quite quick with their words, actually. Let me keep going. Taurus and Pluto, what is this? Pluto is Scorpio as well, by the way. Taurus and Pluto, what is that? Hold on a second. There we go. Yeah, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords. Do not hold any truth back from this individual. It's going to drive them freaking bonkers. Or somebody is already going bonkers because they don't really have all the details necessary, and therefore they're not sure of what to do. They may feel a little bit blocked here by a person or a situation that, they could even feel neglected, actually. They could even feel neglected. They have no idea what's going on. And I would advise that if you're thinking of moving forward, then you need to let this person know. Because now it's gotten to the point where it's almost like somebody just swims away without any explanation, swims away without any closure, that kind of thing. And it feels like this person on my table here does need to know the truth, does need this closure specifically. If it's closure, okay? If it's closure. Otherwise, they do require to know a few details in order of like, they need to know why you're not reciprocating, okay? They need to know why things have become blocked here, where there's no stable forward movement anymore. They need to know this. The moon, what is this? The double moon, actually. Intuition is heavy too. Like this person knows that there's something, but they need communication in order to figure out what's going on. They can't just be, they can't just be sitting on their assumptions, because that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Yeah, there's the sleepless nights, insomnia, not knowing what the heck's going on. Right? Not knowing that maybe there's a literal change in the wind here. They have no idea. You could be the one that's feeling anxious here, not knowing what another person is planning, and they honestly require to communicate with you unless they want to get a tongue scorching, okay? Meaning that you're going to lose your crap on them. So there does need to be some things to be spoken about, some things to be figured out here. It can't just be, airy-fairy over here, because apparently that doesn't work. It's not working. Somebody's sitting in the dark and, assuming the worst. And if it's not the worst, then this person doesn't know that. This person doesn't know. There needs to be some form of communication to figure out what's actually going on here. The decisive action is to bring in clarity and truth with an honest, transparent conversation, of course, that's grounded in nature. All right, give me a second here. Air and Venus, what is this? Yeah, a little bit of a boo-boo. 10 of Pentacles on the side, acting like a challenge, and then Knight of Wands on the side, acting like a challenge. And then we've got whom? Queen of Wands. Oh. This is a lovely tie here, but it's having a lot of problems with communication. And one person is sitting up at night, freaking out because they don't know what's going on. And the other person is just like, oh, whatever, it'll be fine. It'll be okay. I can't really tell whether it is the feminine or the masculine here, because it's both. But I can't really tell whether it's the feminine or the masculine that is planning to leave, move on. There's something going on here where both individuals should be speaking about this openly, instead of hiding, hiding the information, blocking the information, which makes another person go cuckoo bananas over here. One of these individuals needs to reach out, or needs to say something in order for this to be cleared away. It's like a misunderstanding, or it's like, when somebody tells you, oh, read between the lines, but they don't give you any lines to read. So therefore you're just sitting around and you're trying to, constantly figure out what they meant by lines and what these lines actually are. And by the time you know it, you look at your clock, it's like 2:00 in the morning, because you've spent all that time thinking about what they meant, where the lines are, what the lines are. And this person may not be giving you any lines to, look at, or whatever, any hints, nothing. So this is specific. It needs to be figured out. It needs to be spoken about. Definitely spoken about. Whoever's going through the Monday blues, there's a certain specific situation here that a person just requires communication in order to know where things are actually standing, in order to know where things are actually going. This can be applicable to any situation, of course. It can be applicable in family, in your workplace, amongst colleagues, in the friendship circle, right? Amongst friends. Whatever this is, could be two business partners, whatever this is, the truth needs to come out, and it needs to come out in a solid, grounded fashion. A very mature, a mature outlook. Two adults, quite literally, the king and the queen, two adults having a conversation of whether they are going to continue or not. Okay? I wish you guys all the very best. Have a great one, and I'll see you all for Tuesday. Bye-bye.